Hi there, so it's Evan Roberts here at Roberts Pianos Houston. I've got a Baldwin 1948 upright piano or console piano in stock. The only difference between this being called an upright and a console is the legs on the front not being attached to the main body at the bottom. Comes with a matching bench, they're both in mahogany. It's quite a nice tone of wood. It has a nice piece of burr veneer here on the music rack, which is nice, and the music desk. Detachable as well, which is another feature of console piano. In about 2006, I believe, Baldwin ceased production in the USA and moved the factory to China, and obviously all the workers and all the production changed. It has these triangular legs on it, some damage on the bench here, but the legs are matching with the piano, so we'll keep them together. And if you want to have a top upholstered, then once you buy it, you might want to have an upholstery make a top for you to make it more comfortable, but it is nice to have the original bench. Now this is the famous Hamilton model. It's a school piano originally. Now this is an early one, and it's more of a console piano than an upright. On the upright version of the Hamilton, the casters are bigger for rolling around the classroom or church hall. It has 3 pedals which we're going to polish. There's a sustain, which always is lighter because it's been rubbed, it's been polished by being played. The piano does have some minor scuffing and scratching on the edges like this, as you can see, and things like scratches like this. We may be able to clean this off, and I'm not 100% sure about that. I'm not sure quite what that is. I have to experiment with taking that off. The keys are in great condition. There's nothing wrong there in the keys. Now the lid, actually I've taken off the pin, but you can show you. It props like this, like a butterfly. It used to be popular, and the appearance is kind of a grand piano, and also the idea of opening up the tone. I'd like to get into a common issue with these pianos that's not apparent to everybody when you buy one. There's certain periods of this piano where a certain part is worn out. But generally speaking, the condition of most parts is good. The felts and the red felt there on the back of the bridle strap, and in the back check, you know, all those felts are good, the springs are good, hammers are returning as they should, none of them are slow or anything. There's no issues with dampers. The first thing we're going to look at is that this leather here on the hammer butt, they used a false leather, imitation leather, and they had issues with it for certain periods. So this is 48. I'm not quite sure the periods. If you know, please do let me know what periods of production they use this type of leather in. But as you can see, it's very hard. It almost looks like wood, but it's actually supposed to look like leather, and it's clicking. This not clicking here, this isn't making any noise. Actually, it's working fine. It's on the back of the jack. Now you can see that piece of leather down there in the back of the hammer butt where it touches the jack. That's clicking when you play. It's hard to hear, but you can hear the jack coming under again and touching the leather. So what we've done here, we replaced the hammer butt with the check and the hammer butt leather already brand new. So that might be what I do this time. I've done the leathers recently, but it's a lot of work. I'm leaning towards changing the hammer butt. Baldwin pianos are quite respected in the trade for making entry to middle upper range pianos in the grands. The uprights can range from middle quality to upper middle. Depends on the piano, the size, and the model. The spinets, obviously, I would warn you for not going towards the spinet. Now the bass tone is lovely. You can hear some buzzing in that. But I turned some bass strings there. And the pedal rubber down here, that rubber black piece you see down there, needs to be replaced. That's why there's some rattling around. We'll replace that and the rattling will go. The hammers themselves are good. I feel like we could possibly just check them, make sure that we put them on the hammer butts on so the alignment's correct. It's quite a difficult job to do well. We're learning, obviously. We're not as experienced as some restorers, but we're trying to perfect our process all the time. As you can see, all the other felts, for instance, the key rail felt here is very tight. So the issue is not with the felts or springs, it's not even with the tapes. It is more to do with the leather on the hammer butt, which needs replacing. One of the issues with this type of full board is that the full board, to take it off is a bit difficult for a tuner, but tuners know how to do this. To remove it for repairs, you have to unscrew those 2 screws and then pull it out. When you put it back in, you have to remember the shape and screw it back in. It's not really an issue once you've got used to it. It's not the best design. I've seen some modern uprights where they have a pin here which you can pop out this part of the full board, pop it out here, and on some pianos you can pop it out here, and then you can pull the full board out without having to unscrew the screws. That's much better. If you're designing pianos, please take note, and if you're going to make this kind of full board, which is quite elegant, you can make it much easier for technicians by doing that. As you can see, the soft pedal needs adjusting, which we'll do that. It's an interesting observation here, but on the hammer, where the hammer shank touches the hammer butt, you can see some inconsistent gluing. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just fine touch work in the factory, sort of uneven amounts of glue or something. Now the issue with changing any hammer parts or butts or hammers themselves is aligning the string so that the string and the hammer strike at the same angle, so that you get that angle is consistent. And you don't want it to strike underneath the hammer. You don't want it to hit the string here on the bottom or on the top. You want it to hit the string in the middle. So that's the challenge for us. And as we do it, we'll obviously get better at doing it. You generally do other action parts and avoid pianos that need new hammers, but I've got this one that needs new butts, and I've got a Samick, which actually, you might be surprised, it sounds gorgeous, that needs new hammer heads. Have a listen to the tone of it. Very rich. Still needs a bit more tuning, it's quite unstable. Very, very rich.